Because, to fix that?
Yes, to fix that. And that's why I said current elderly leaders don't have the courage to ensure that black lives change. And they change immediately. Because as an entrepreneur, firstly, one of the things we're also calling for in the aggressive implementation of black economic empowerment, including the Preferential Procurement Policy Framework Act, and also ensuring that we even employ more black people in the civil servants. We are also saying we should criminalize racial profiling from the banks and credit bureaus. I mean, Gareth, it's just unfortunate.
Why?
Because you get a preferred rate as compared to me. If you
as a white guy.
Yes.
Okay.
If you apply for insurance for a house, like even the repo rate, you might see that it's 10.7.
Repo rate is 7%.
Yeah, oh, 7%. Sorry, 7%.
Yeah.
At 7%, you'll still get a preferred rate than I am on the basis of race. So you pay a lesser rate from an interest rate.
Do we know that?
We know that for a fact. There's a lot of reports, including medical aid. You'd get a preferred rate. I'd pay much more with regards to medical aid.
Even though you might earn more than me.
Absolutely. On the basis of, that's why CBS McKaiser always spoke about white privilege. White privilege still exists in our government. Do you know we even have ministers that are blacklisted? And I don't understand how do they walk around with courage that they are blacklisted themselves and they can't put a foot down from the National Credit Regulator. You look at Section 2 of National Credit Regulator, you look at Section 2 of the PIC Act. All those tools are there to empower us, and we are still in poverty. So you ask yourself, there was a guy who commented on the previous video when I was interviewing the same subject. He said, if 7.2% of our population is white people and the majority is blacks, what are your leaders doing about it? And you are right. People that are policy makers must decisively, aggressively, and affirmatively, unapologetically implement that. You look at the Hartebeespoort Dam, how it was built. It was the question of white poverty to say, let's build this infrastructure to ensure that it was an EPWP of that time. So we are saying now, through the Public Procurement Act, there's something called set aside, whereby you can set aside certain things and aggregate tenders. Because currently, as economic spectators, I was making an example about, it's probably not a good example, but the lotto. You look at the lotto, how much is going to be made of the over 5-7 years. If that was aggregated, how many black people would have benefited? Imagine the lotto in Limpopo is controlled by an entrepreneur and some other ones that are subcontracted, like that in Eastern Cape, in Western Cape. A lot of people would be involved in the economy. Then there's another project which we have written to the mayor. Here in Johannesburg, there's a project called Southern Farms. It's a 27 billion rand project, and one company has won that. Is it right in 2025, amidst so much chronic poverty, that we must become economic spectators and just look?
I want to just wrap this up, because you and I are going to talk again. When you talk about the imbalance here, what is a balance in your mind?
A balance is that one that aggregates. That how do you uplift black people if there's a tender of 100 million?
Because the argument is if you uplift black people,
yes,
you're down, you're pulling down white people, which
not
is not a
necessarily.
balance.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Firstly, look at the ratio.
Okay.
If you look at population dynamics,
yes,
how many white people do we have in the country versus black people? So if you look at the pendulum swing, it's still favoring white people. So you still need to empower more black people in order to bring a balance. 92.7%, 7.2%. You know what I'm saying? So it's that, if my numbers are correct, so it's that pendulum thing that we need to aggressively empower more black people to ensure that at least we strike a balance. And based on these policy shifts that we need to do, and that's why even with this dialogue, we are saying somewhat the president might have erred to ensure that elderly people are the ones that are leading this and not young people.
The people that are coming through. I'm not going to let you go. I want to talk to you again in a few days, because when you come back to me, and I hope you will, I want to talk, because you made the point, and I was trying to make my point very badly, that if we see less white people, 7%, let's give it 7%, the majority of the 7% still own the powers to economic empowerment as an economic growth. That number is skewed for me. How do we change that without upsetting the economic balance to bring back a centrifuge across the nation?
It's unfortunate. You'll have to disrupt. It's just
we'll have to disrupt. Yeah. Okay, but I want to talk about disruption in a few days. You'll come back to me.
I'd love to.
I love this discussion. I want to bring him back again with us. But the reason